Hello everyone, I see Ayushi Khanna is back with a new video, and first of all I want to congratulate the students of CBSE and other boards who have got their really good result this time for 10th as well as 12th, and I'm really feeling proud to have students like you who have actually rocked in their school and their area as well. Today we are going to start with a new chapter for macroeconomics and standard 12th. So we are going to start with government budget and the economy. And this is chapter number 10, and I have used a textbook for my video so that it can be more detailed and you can actually relate it with your books as well. And because syllabus for CBSE has changed a bit for term 1, they have actually included government budget in the same. That's why I have skipped the rest of the chapter after national income, and I'm being starting with the government budget. So first of all, we should be aware about what is government budget and what it is all about and who is going to issue the same. So in this whole chapter, what you are going to learn is, first of all, they'll provide you the details of introduction, then meaning of government budget, then its objectives, you have to cover components, and then components की भी detail आएंगी. You are going to cover budget receipts and budget revenue receipt, capital receipt, budget expenditure, its categories as well. And at last we'll learn how to measure government deficit, which I personally feel is really very important for the MCQs. 100% इस पे कोई MCQ आएगा ही आएगा. So please make sure that you are aware about the formulas used and the trick to solve the question. Today we are going to cover the whole theory part, and if you want me to create a video for the practical one and to solve some numerical questions for government budget, please do mention that in comment box. I love to create that video. So let's just start with it. First of all, meaning of government budget says that it is an annual statement showing item-wise estimates of receipts and expenditure during a fiscal year. Now, it's really important to know these terms. First of all, it is annual statement. That means government is going to provide you a government budget annually. Second thing is, it is item wise detail. That means they are going to provide you detail of each and every item. Third one is, which is actually very important, the word estimates. The word estimate says that it is not the exact value, as it is not related to the past records. We are actually estimating the future value which are going to take place in whole government budget. So that is why we always use the word estimated receipts and estimated expenditure. And that's during a fiscal year. That means a particular area in which you are actually estimating your government budget. The receipts and expenditure shown in the budget are not the actual figures. I've told you the same thing. These are not going to be the actual figures. आपको ये estimated values लेनी है. But the estimated values for coming fiscal year, and fiscal year is taken from 1st April till 31st March. It is same as that of financial year. अगर आप टैक्सेशन पढ़ रहे हैं, अकाउंटेंसी पढ़ रहे हैं, या आप इकोनॉमिक्स में गवर्नमेंट बजट पढ़ रहे हो, we always start our year from 1st April till 31st March of the next year, next calendar year. Now, what are the important points of government budget? You need to remember the authority and its second name as well. So they have written budget is prepared by the government at all levels. All level means central government, the one single government for the whole country. Then state government, matlab different types of government for each and every state. Third one is local government, because we also stay in different towns and cities and we have local government for the same. It prepares its representative annual budget. However, we will restrict our studies to the budget of central government, which is known as union budget, because in our syllabus we are going to cover the budget which is related to central government only. We are not going to cover state or local governments. That is also called union budget. MCQ बहुत simple बन जाएगा. What can we also call government budget as? it is going to be called as union budget. And if you want to know the reason, as it is through central government now, that is why it is union. Estimated expenditure and receipts are planned as per the objective of the government. अब आपने बहुत बार सुना होगा ना, इट्स अबाउट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पॉलिटिशियंस, जो कहीं ना कहीं न्यूज़ में, कहीं ना कहीं अपनी रिपोर्ट्स में यही मेंशन करते हैं कि व्हाट देयर गवर्नमेंट इज़ एक्चुअली गोइंग टू डू, जिसमें हमारे कुछ जनरल कमेंट्स भी ज़रूर रहते हैं कि व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस टाइम बजट, या फिर गवर्नमेंट का क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव है. अब उनके कुछ ओपिनियन हमें पसंद आते हैं, कुछ नहीं आते, सम आर इन आवर फेवर, सम आर नॉट. तो अल्टीमेटली जो गवर्नमेंट का बजट है वो अल्टीमेटली दैट इज़ शोइंग इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. इन इंडिया बजट इज़ प्रेजेंटेड इन द पार्लियामेंट ऑन सच अ डे एज प्रेजिडेंट में डायरेक्ट, मतलब तैयार तब होगा जब प्रेसिडेंट आपको वो डायरेक्ट करेंगे. यू आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर द सेम. बाय कन्वेंशन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर रिप्रेजेंट्स और प्रेजेंट्स द एनुअल बजट on the first day of February each year. From this video onwards, I'll try to highlight all the points that can be asked as an MCQ. तो आप प्लीज़ उसको ध्यान रखना और अपने आप टेक्स्ट बुक में भी मार्क कर सकते हैं. So the 1st February is always called as budget date. Every year we receive our budget on the same day. It is called union budget and it is presented by finance minister. Next, if we talk about objectives, 2 points are left before that. It is required to be approved by parliament before it can be implemented. मतलब आप directly implement नहीं कर सकते. You actually need to get a prior approval from the parliament. The budget reveals the financial performance of the government in the last year. मतलब last year आपने government ने क्या किया है, कितने खर्चे हुए हैं, what are their different receipts, how they have managed the whole country and economy, as well as financial policies for the upcoming year. That means it relates both the years, one past year and one future year. Now we talk about objectives of government budget. First of all, its objective is reallocation of resources. If we talk about reallocation, that means the whole resources for the country or the economy is totally same. Now what they are going to do is they will plan the policies in such a way that it can be reallocated from richer section to poor section. It can actually help the needy one and so on. So through the budgetary policy, government aim to reallocate resources in accordance with economic, that means profit maximization, and social, that means public welfare. Priorities of the country, मतलब whatever the priority may be, क्योंकि हर एक की economy, हर एक की country different है. It depends how our economy is running. We have different objectives and different priorities. So government can influence allocation of resources through. Now, what are the resources? What are the policies that can be implemented to reallocate the resources through government? So, one is tax concessions or subsidies. Another one is directly producing goods and services. That means tax concession और subsidy आपको उन products में मिलेगी, उस जगह पे investment में मिलेगी जहाँ पे government actually development चाहती है. If you have heard SEZ, इट्स स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन्स, तो ये कुछ बैकवर्ड एरियाज़ में, कुछ स्पेशल एरियाज़ में जोन क्रिएट किया जाता है जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट आपको कुछ स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स प्रोवाइड करेंगे. इट्स लाइक कि आपको कुछ टैक्स बेनिफिट मिलेगा, टैक्स हॉलीडे मिलेगा. तो ये अल्टीमेटली क्या करेगा, इट विल अल्टीमेटली ग्रैब मोर एंड मोर पीपल टू इन्वेस्ट इन दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया so as to generate its economic employment as well. So number one, they have explained it like to encourage investment, government can take tax concessions or subsidies etc. to the producer. For example, government discourage the production of harmful consumption goods like liquor, cigarettes etc. through heavy taxes and encourage the use of khadi products by providing subsidies. So ultimately it depends na ki what is the objective of the government and how they are taking their decisions. Accordingly, it attracts or it actually removes different producers and customers from particular market. Second point is directly producing goods and services. So there are many non-profitable economic activities which are not undertaken by the private sector, like water supply, sanitation, law and order, national defense, etc. So these are called public goods. Public goods means these are the general goods that are going to help the public in improving their standard of living. तो अल्टीमेटली वी आर ट्राइंग टू हेल्प आवर जनरल पब्लिक. आप अपने आसपास के लोगों को हेल्प कर रहे हो कि वो अपना स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज़ कर पाए. इसकी वजह से ना जितना भी वाटर सप्लाई, सैनिटेशन, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन करना है, ये सब कुछ गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में है. Such activities are necessarily undertaken by the government in public interest and raise social welfare. Mala ultimately they are going to lead public interest and social welfare as their main objective. Now they have explained private goods and public goods, which I feel can be asked as question. Don't avoid any blue boxes. Don't avoid any notes. क्योंकि हमें ऐसा लगता है क्वेश्चन पढ़ के अरे ये तो बुक में था ही नहीं, बट दिस इज़ फ्रॉम योर बुक ओनली. वी एक्चुअली वॉट दोज बॉक्सेस ना, और टीचर्स या एग्जामिनर वही बॉक्सेस को सबसे ज़्यादा यूज़ करते हैं एग्जाम बनाने के लिए. सो बी वेरी केयरफुल. So as we have already covered, now public goods are ultimately that is for collective consumption, and that is going to help the general public to improve and to grow, to improve their standard of living. And if we talk about private, so it is the kind of good that you are actually privately purchasing for the benefits. Next point is reducing inequalities in income and wealth. Inequalities here highlight two types of society: richer section and poor section. So if we talk about richer, rich is becoming richer and poor is becoming poorer. So this is very basic sentence which you get in every textbook or in a general and newspapers as well. तो ये यहाँ पर भी उसी चीज़ की बात कर रहे हैं कि governments are going to take some steps like that is actually going to remove the difference, remove the gap between rich and poor section. अभी कैसे कर सकते हैं? They actually collect more and more taxes from rich section and they use the same on spending for welfare of the poor. So these are two objectives for government. Now third one is they have already provided an example as well. Free LPG connections or at very nominal rates, food grain at very nominal rates for BPL families. If we talk about BPL, it's बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन. दैट मीन्स वो लोग जो एक पॉवर्टी लाइन क्रॉस नहीं कर पाते हैं, दे आर अनेबल टू अर्न दैट मच कि वो अपनी स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग एटलीस्ट मेंटेन कर पाएँ या नेसेसिटीज़ को कंटिन्यू कर पाएँ. नेक्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी. स्टेबिलिटी इज़ रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन आर लाइफ एंड इन आर इकोनॉमी एज वेल. क्योंकि अगर देखो ना, अगर आपकी इकोनॉमी एक साल तो बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट कर रही है एंड इट इज़ वर्किंग रियली ट्रमेंडस, बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट ईयर इट्स हॉरेबल. तो ऐसे यहाँ पर जो रहते हुए लोग हैं उनको तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम होगी ना. सो इट्स द ड्यूटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट टू मेंटेन द स्टेबिलिटी. सो इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी मीन्स एब्सेंस ऑफ लार्ज स्केल फ्लक्चुएशंस इन प्राइस. सच फ्लक्चुएशन क्रिएट अनसर्टेनिटीज इन द इकोनॉमी and government can exercise control over these fluctuations through taxes and expenditure. मतलब अल्टीमेटली अगर उनको लग रहा है इन्फ्लेशन है, इन्फ्लेशन मीन्स continuous rise in the prices, and opposite term is deflation. Deflation means continuous decrease in the prices. Inflation is a situation जहाँ पर लोगों के पास कुछ excess money available हो जाता है and they can pay anything, which ultimately leads to increase in the prices. However, if we talk about deflation, it's just opposite. So the inflation is like when aggregate demand is higher than aggregate supply, and government can bring down by reducing its own expenditure, so they don't provide any kind of support in case it is an inflation situation. However, if we talk about deflation now, government is actually going to provide you lots and lots of help. They have written they are going to increase its expenditure and give tax concessions and subsidies. Alright. Next point they have provided is management of public enterprises. We also cover that in 11th standard business studies. हम डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं कि public enterprises का क्या मीनिंग है and how it operates. So they have written large number of public sector industries, especially natural monopolies, which are established and managed by for social welfare of the public. And budget is prepared with the objective of making various provisions for managing such enterprises and providing the financial help. मतलब ultimately जो public enterprise भी चल रहे हैं, that is also running for the general public and the social welfare. Enterprises like kind of organizations जो गवर्नमेंट रन कर रही है टू प्रोवाइड सोशल सर्विस, या फिर अगर आपको वो कोई प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विस दे भी रहे हैं, दैट वुड बी एट वेरी नॉमिनल रेट्स. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय नेचुरल मोनोपोली? Star means important point that can be really asked as an MCQ. Natural monopoly exists when a single firm can produce goods and services at a cost which is lower than that of many competing firms. मतलब आप जो गुड प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं या सर्विस प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं उसकी कॉस्ट बहुत कम है एज कम्पेयर टू दैट ऑफ योर कॉम्पिटिटर्स इन द मार्केट. Government operates, manages and control natural monopolies like railways, or post office, electricity, etc. And this is definitely to promote public welfare. अगर आप कभी रेलवेज बजट अगर आप कभी रेलवेज बजट भी देखेंगे ना, तो इन दैट ऑल्सो यू विल कम टू नो अबाउट कि रेलवेज बहुत बार इट रन इन लॉसेस even though government is running the same. It's just for the welfare of general public. Next is economic growth. Economy here means related to money, income. So economic growth implies a sustainable increase in the real GDP of an economy. In an increase in the volume of goods and services produced in an economy, budget can be an effective tool to ensure the economic growth in the country. मतलब आप इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ चाहते हैं तो डेफिनेटली यू नीड टू कंपेयर योर परफॉर्मेंस टाइम टू टाइम. अब अगर आप वो कंपेयर करना चाहते हैं, इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टडी अबाउट द सेम, तो यू कैन यूज़ गवर्नमेंट बजट. इफ गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड टैक्स रिबेट एंड अदर इंसेंटिव्स फॉर प्रोडक्टिव वेंचर्स एंड प्रोजेक्ट, इट कैन स्टिमुलेट सेविंग्स एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एन इकोनॉमी. मतलब अल्टीमेटली अगर गवर्नमेंट आपको किसी भी तरह से सपोर्ट करेगी ना, तो यू विल डेफिनेटली गेट अट्रैक्ट टुवर्ड्स द इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड यू विल समहाउ थिंक लाइक कि व्हाई नॉट इन्वेस्ट इन इट, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड यू लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ बेनिफिट्स एंड सब्सिडीज. एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज स्पेंडिंग ऑन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एन इकोनॉमी एनहांसेस द प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी in different sectors, and here sectors are like primary, secondary and tertiary. Government expenditure is a major factor that generates demand for different types of goods and services in an economy, which induces growth in private sector too. अब देखो, अगर गवर्नमेंट प्रोडक्टिव एक्टिविटीज़ को हेल्प करने के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में मनी इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, definitely it is going to help all the businesses to run smoothly. So ultimately it is going to increase demand for more goods and services, and it will not only affect the public sector, will also affect the private sector as well. They will also get attracted to invest in the same. Next one is reducing regional disparity. They have got the same point. SEZs, special economic zones. इट्स लाइक कि बैकवर्ड और फाइनेंशियली वीकर सेक्शंस जहाँ पर ज़्यादा है, दोज एरियाज़ आर एक्चुअली एनकरेज टू गेट मोर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स एंड सेविंग्स एंड इनकम एज वेल एज एम्प्लॉयमेंट. तो इन सब को जनरेट करने के लिए ना गवर्नमेंट समहाउ अट्रैक्ट्स मोर एंड मोर इन्वेस्टर्स बाय प्रोवाइडिंग मोर एंड मोर इंसेंटिव, सब्सिडीज एंड रिबेट्स टू यू. So they have written the government budget aims to reducing regional disparities through its taxation and expenditure policies for encouraging setting up production unit in economically backward regions. Example, SEZs. Next one is employment generation. If you are aware about two techniques for production, हम जब 11th में पढ़ते हैं ना सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ एन इकोनॉमी, वी कवर बेसिक 3 points: what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. If we talk about how to produce, we have different two techniques. One is capital intensive, another one is labor intensive. लेबर इंटेंसिव टेक्निक उन इंडस्ट्रीज़ को ज़्यादा यूज़फुल है दैट एक्चुअली वांट टू जनरेट मोर एंड मोर एम्प्लॉयमेंट. और अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर की बात करें तो इफ़ इट इज़ चीपर फॉर यू आर गोइंग टू इन्वेस्ट इन द सेम. तो दे आर सेइंग कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन गवर्नमेंट बजट इज़ एन इफेक्टिव टूल इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन इन वेरियस वेज. इट्स जस्ट लाइक अगर आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में तो बहुत लेबर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी और काफ़ी लंबे टाइम तक उनको एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिल पाएगा. दे हैव गिवन यू एग्जाम्पल्स लाइक कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ फ्लाईओवर्स, ब्रिजेस, एक्सपेंशन ऑफ रोड्स एट्सेट्रा. And they have given different employment schemes as well, which you are going to cover in detail in your Indian economy part. So these were the objectives of government budget. Now let's just start with components of budget. Components includes, look, they have actually classified as two main component as revenue budget or capital budget, but we have another alternative as well, budget receipts and budget expenditure. It's like सबसे पहले हम समझ लेते हैं what are the meaning of revenue, capital, receipt and expenditure. It would be easy for you to further classify it. If we talk about receipts, receipts means kind of income. Whatever you are receiving, that will be included in it. And if we talk about budget expenditure, एज द नेम सेज यू आर स्पेंडिंग मनी, तो कोई भी खर्चा होगा, कोई भी एक्सपेंडिचर होगा, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी इंक्लूडेड इन द सेम. However, if we talk about revenue and capital, तो if you are accountancy student, it would be easy for you to recall, हम 11th स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ते हैं ना रेवेन्यू एंड कैपिटल नेचर आइटम्स. तो मैं उसी टॉपिक को दोबारा एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ, इट वुड बी ईजी फॉर यू. If we talk about revenue nature items, so revenue nature items are those which are routine in nature or which are not going to affect your assets and liabilities. In that to fixed assets. Don't think like कि अगर हम income earn कर रहे हैं तो cash भी तो एक asset ही है. I'm here highlighting fixed assets. Sorry, it's about fixed assets and your liabilities. And if we talk about capital items, these are the items that are actually going to affect your assets and liabilities. अब क्या वो एक expenditure है या receipt है, that depends upon the transaction. If we talk about if you have earned interest, if you have received interest, that's going to be receipt and that's revenue in nature because it's a kind of routine thing. However, you have received money on loan allotted to you. Now loan is not a routine item. Loan is going to be your liability. So this time you are affecting your assets or liability side na. So this will be a part of capital items. Let's just read it. It deals with revenue aspects of government budget. It explains how revenue is generated or collected by the government and how it is allocated in the various forms of expenditure heads. Now they have provided two parts. Number 1, revenue receipts. Number 2, revenue expenditure. अब देखो ना, सिंपल सी बात हो गई. Receipt means income, expenditure means खर्चा. Now their nature depends upon like whether it is revenue in nature or capital in nature. If it is related to the routine item, it is not going to affect your liabilities and asset. It is going to be revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. In short, revenue budget is a statement of estimated revenue receipts and estimated revenue expenditure during a fiscal year. Do not forget the word estimated. It's not actual because it's a budget for future. Now capital budget, it deals with the capital aspect of the government budget and it consists of capital receipts and capital expenditure. और यू कैन से कि वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर कैपिटल बजट ना, तो ये एक स्टेटमेंट है जो आपको एस्टिमेटेड, अगेन द वर्ड एस्टिमेटेड कैपिटल रिसीट्स और कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर बताएगी. नाउ प्लीज़ डोंट गेट कन्फ्यूज. अब इन्होंने कंपोनेंट को क्लासीफाई कर दिया है. इफ़ वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर अ ओवरऑल बजट ना, वी आर गोइंग टू इंक्लूड ऑल द आइटम्स वेदर इट इज़ रेवेन्यू इन नेचर, इट इज़ कैपिटल इन नेचर, डजेंट मैटर. लेकिन if we talk about revenue budget separately, capital budget separately, then it is going to include only items which are related to revenue nature or which are related to capital nature. They have look further explain it like budget receipts, revenue receipts, and capital receipts. Then further classification is provided. But for now, I'll end up this video here only, so that first you can go through these topics, you can revise it properly, you can take your doubts, और इसके बाद वाला जो chapter है we are going to cover in another video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please wait for the another part, because ultimately it is going to help you a lot.